Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good evening. Well, we're here. Did you just have a good afternoon? I'm going to back you up and try and lower you down. This is a little awkward for me because I'm new to YouTube and I'm doing it from my laptop and getting it in position. You can't see where you're going live until you're live. So, sorry about that. I'm new to this, so deal with it. As you're jumping on, please say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. I love to read all the comments and I love to know who's watching. Also, if you're new to the page, please subscribe and hit the notification button. We're going to have lots of fun in here. I'm going to try and be in here a little more often. So let me get my mouse out of the way. So tonight we're going to be finishing up our lantern. Our cool lantern. Did you see the picture of it all lit up on Facebook? I had posted a picture. Super cool. It doesn't look like much yet. It's going to, trust me. I also realized in the last live, we forgot this little piece. So if you've ordered the lantern and you have this little piece, it looks like it's just the piece that's popped out of there, and it is. But it's also handy. It's not absolutely necessary, but it is handy to put it just inside here and glue it in place so that your board doesn't slide around too much when you slide your front piece in. So I'm going to go ahead and grab just a white pasta. You can use white paint, white pasta, whatever color you've done your lantern in, and just give it a coat just so it kind of blends in. Oh, let me grab a baby wipe here. This one here needs some priming apparently. So how is everybody doing? Oh, that one's kind of dingy. That one's kind of dingy. Well, let's find a better white. Don't worry, I won't sing to you all night. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a quick bit of white to it and then get this glued into place. And then we'll start on the decoupaging. I think this is going to look so cute. Waiting for people to start chatting with me. Hopefully someone does. Otherwise, it's kind of odd to sit here and talk to yourself. So please jump in on the chit chat, even if you're watching on the replay. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. And in the meantime, we're going to get started on this. So I'm going to pick one of my sides and I'm going to grab my napkin. And I am using a Mackenzie Childs napkin. You cannot resell these things if you're using her napkins. You're just not permitted to do that. They are for personal use, so keep that in mind. And I'm just going to cut out my frog area and come across the bottom. I want the trim piece as well. So let me find my water pen here. You can fussy cut it out with your little snips if you want, or I like to use a water pen where I can. There is a few spots that I'll probably have to use the snips, but for the most part, I'm going to use my water pen. So using the water pen or a paintbrush just dipped in water, just kind of loosely go around your image. Now I haven't removed the backer off yet. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It doesn't really seem to make a big deal. It's just whatever your personal preference is. Okay, so you can see here the wet line all around the frog. And then gently, using your finger just to guide it, you just kind of pull it away. And it leaves a beautiful, beautiful fringed edge that kind of helps it melt into your paint, especially if you're using chalk paint. So just like that, okay? Now I am going to take my snips and I'm going to cut across the back part here because I want a pretty straight line here. So I'm just going to snip that area and then give it a little gentle pull. Okay. And again, with my water pen, I'm just going to go right across this area. just like that. And again, giving it a gentle pull across. Now I did get a tiny bit of that dragonfly's tail, so I'm going to hold my finger in place and just kind of pull that away. Let me bring this back. Let me slide you forward. How's that? So I'm just going to put my finger there and just kind of pull it away because I'm going to need that piece for after, and I don't want to lose that. And then I'm just going to snip across. Okay. So this is our first piece. Now you always want to remember to get your backers off. So that's the first layer. And not all napkins have 3 layers, but most of them do. And then I'm going to grab my second one. Now, if you're having problems getting these off, you can always put a tiny piece of tape on the front and a tiny piece of tape on the back and pull. Now, because I don't really have an area that I don't want to that I don't care about if it gets ripped, that's why I chose to do it this way. Some people use a pin and kind of pull it apart. Other people like to do and then when your fingers are tacky, pull it apart. I just have an issue with spit on a project, but that's me. Another way that I sometimes do it is I grab a little bit of Mod Podge on one finger. And again, I tap, tap, tap until it's tacky. And then that will pull it across. But sometimes, again, it does rip your little edge. So just keep that in mind. So I'm just going to have a peek here at where this is going to sit. And just make sure it's going to line up nicely and go around. And then we'll have to do a patch up job on the back side, of course. So usually I have been a decoupage or a Mod Podge girl. I use Mod Podge matte for almost all my decoupaging. I know some people say it's a little thick and they water it down. I really haven't had a problem with it. But for this project, I'm actually going to be using Duraclear. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want this glossy, and I find Mod Podge gloss stays a little sticky where this stuff won't do that. So I'm going to grab a little tray. Hopefully I have a clean one here. Let me grab a little tray here. And I'm just going to pour a little bit of my Duraclear in there. And then I'm going to grab a paintbrush, and we're just going to do it the same way we would with Mod Podge. Get it pretty, good amount on your brush. Make sure we're doing this on the right side. We'd hate for our frog to be upside down. And then I'm going to put a coat down. Okay. Now, because I'm going to make this whole thing glossy, it doesn't matter if I go bigger than the frog area or not, because I'm going to go over this whole thing and make it glossy afterwards. Okay. Now, I did try Duraclear with the iron, and it does work. So we're going to do that again tonight. I just practiced on a little coaster somewhere. Here it is here. Because I wanted to make sure it works, because I haven't done it with Duraclear before this. But you can see it's got a really beautiful sheen to it. And that's what I'm wanting, more of a sheen on this than my normal projects. So as we're waiting for that to dry up, I might go ahead and just decoupage, or just give this a whole coat while I'm waiting for that iron to heat up. Because again, I do want this whole project to have a sheen to it. Now, the key to having a good sheen to this is not overworking your top coat, or in this case, it's actually a base coat, but it is called a top coat. So lay it down, smooth it out once if you need to, but try not to overwork it, because the more you work it, the duller it's going to be, okay? Now I'm just going to give it a quick dry. I'm not sure if nobody is here or if I'm just not seeing chats. So I'm hoping someone's here, because I like to do giveaways. I am not seeing anybody here. Am I going to get the prize? Keep in mind, that's why I want you to have your notifications on, is because I like to do giveaways. So, and if I ever forget, remind me in my next video, and I'll just have to do 2. You can see the sheen on this already. Can you see that? And it's already drying, but it just gives it a nice it's not overly shiny, like it's not like glass, but it's a nice finish. It's just got like it's a sheen. I don't know what else to say. All right, I'm seeing that 2 people are here. Welcome, welcome. I'd like you to say hi in the comments if you don't mind. I'd just like to know that somebody's there. Okay. So now I'm going to take my little frog and I'm going to line them up where I want them. Just like so. Kind of smooth them out a bit just to make sure we're going to get them in the right position. And I am looking for, there it is, my piece of parchment paper. Now make sure you're always using parchment paper. Don't accidentally grab the wax paper because it will mess it up big time. I haven't done it, but I've heard of people doing that. Actually, I shouldn't say I haven't done it. I think I did do it once. I think I did. And then I'm just going to go over it with the iron. And all that's doing is heating up that layer that we just dried. So it's going to make that napkin attach really nicely and smoothly. Now, some of you might be wondering, what temperature my iron is on. And this little cutie was sent to me from one of my followers on Facebook. And it doesn't have a temperature control. It's just really stinking hot. So if I was using my regular iron, I would have it on the highest settings, which I think is a cotton setting. And just don't leave it on long. Few quick wipes, and it's usually really good to go. Now, as you can see, when we get to this edge, first of all, you're going to have to kind of pull it a little bit because as it goes around that corner, it kind of wants to tilt a little off angle. Okay, so you're going to have to really line it up. But we're not going to want this green end piece, right? Because we're going to continue the pattern on. So I am going to grab my water pen again. And I'm just going to put a little line there. And then I would like to have I could probably use this, a little straight surface here, just to remove that up against, just to give me somewhat of a straighter grip. Okay. And I'm going to set that over to the side just in case I need it. You never know. Sometimes you just have to do little touch-ups. Now at this stage, remember it's super fragile. It's very thin, but I just want to make sure it's going to line up okay. Christine Coates here. Welcome, welcome. So for this side, I'm just going to do a band along the bottom because there's no big cutout of the frog yet, like for this side. So just a little band where this is going to go. And then when I do my top coat, it will get a full coat. And again, I'm going to dry this up. And the reason I'm doing this is to make sure there's no wrinkles. Sometimes when you put it down wet and you smooth it out, sometimes it wrinkles. And for this project, I just want to make sure it goes on super, super smooth. So I'm just going to quickly dry it up. So if you're watching this, pretty close to the live time, it is corn season finally here in Ontario. Last year, I don't know what happened, but I think we only had it once. So the hubby was out today and he got corn on the cob. And I was so excited. That's what we had for supper tonight. Just corn on the cob. We had a feast of it. And absolutely loving it. I'd like to know what you guys had for dinner. We kind of get in a stump that is it called a stump? Where you just, you eat the same things over and over and over. And so it's kind of nice to get some other ideas. What's for dinner from other people? So we were corn on the cob tonight. How about you? Jamie's with us. So is this a good time for you, Jamie, or is this a bad time? I kind of thought there'd be more people on tonight, but I did send out the notification. Maybe they didn't get it. I don't know. But it'll be here for the replay. So I'm just making sure that's going to lie nice and flat and close to my bottom of my lantern. And then again, just letting that melt right into it, okay? So that's how we're looking. Now, we're going to need another section off that napkin. There it is. So as I work around this, now I'm going to be going up this side. And again, just my watermark. And I'm just going along the white edge of it. And then I will snip this part just to get a nice clean finish. And then just gently tear it. If you got a little too much water, make sure you put your finger or a straight edge down just to kind of hold it into place. Oh, you got distracted cleaning the craft room. Well, that's always a good thing to do. So I hear. Okay, I'm going to actually overlap it just a tiny bit, I think. Actually, no, I'm going to butt it up against because it's actually pretty spot on. But remember, don't forget to not take off your backers. So there's one. Let's see, can we get that second one just to lift? Oh, not there. Let me try the other corner. I find corners usually do it better. This one's not going to do it for me this time. Oh, yes, it is. There we go. Oh, maybe not. All right, let's try just a tiny dot of Duraclear. See, just the tiniest dot. Rub your fingers together a bit and then tap, 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 tap. Hello, Cheryl. Finding stuff you didn't know you had. Oh, isn't that fun? All right, and that just gave it just enough that I can pull them apart. All right. Now remember, we've already got our finish down. So we're just lining it up. I'm going to bring it a little closer to me here so I can see. And maybe put on my specs. I can't read the comments at all with these glasses, but I'll be able to see what I'm doing here. Now, I'm noticing the one side of my napkin, that green edge, is actually a little bit wider than this one. So I'm going to have a little overhang here, and we're just going to have to touch that up with sandpaper afterwards. But I want to keep it relatively straight. So I'm just I'm going to take a tiniest little dot here, just to kind of hold it there. Just to hold that in place. And then I'm going to grab my parchment paper again. I'll just iron that down. Now, because it's got that wet spot, you're going to have to be careful when you're peeling up because sometimes that will rip. And then you have to do a patch job, which isn't the end of the world, but so where it's wet, you can kind of see it come through onto the onto the parchment paper. I'm going to hold my finger there for a second and just kind of roll it back just to make sure it doesn't pull it up. So just be gentle. And I'm going to grab my sanding block and I'm just going to take off that extra edge. I'm worried if I go ahead and flip it over and keep working around that might catch on something and then pull it up. So it's just easier just to do it right then. So we're going to go right around that corner. And look at this. It's going to line up almost perfectly. Almost. My green edge would actually be the overhang, which is a little bit of a stinker. it's that close because I started off with the green edge over here and I kind of like it to end up with the green edge here. So I'm going to actually take my water pen and I'm going to remove one of my squares. So I'm going to grab, where did my little straight edge piece go? Oh gosh, golly gee. All right, well, I'll use the sandpaper then. Just needs to be something straightish. Just to pull that away. Okay. And then I'm going to go back down here, and it would be better if I had a straight edge. I didn't set it inside. Y'all probably are like, it's right there, but I don't know where that is. Oh, and now my phone is ringing. Okay, I've lost my straight edge. That's ridiculous. The strangest things happen to me when I'm live. I'm going to use the edge of this square. And I'm just going to hold it down. Try and get my finger under there. And I'm just going to pull it up. I'm going to save that just in case I need to. Oops, I just dipped it right in that juice there. Right into the stuff. Okay, and I'm going to line that up. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a tiny little touch up. So again, with my parchment paper, I'm just going to seal that little edge down. And now, whoops, a little wrinkle there. I just want to straighten this out before I totally get it glued into place here. I've got a little trimming to do there, so I'm not coming right to my edge yet. Oh, you found old Halloween items that you need to work on. Oh my gosh. I was going through my fall stuff, like some of the fall stuff that I never did get put away last year. And I found so many projects that I was so excited about. And then I was like, how come I never got to those? They were all in a basket for lives to do. And I just didn't get the chance. Okay. So here's where I'm going to have to do some little touch-ups. Let's get that little piece down better. So I am missing a tiny bit of a black square. Of course, it's just going to keep sticking to my finger here. This is where it takes a little more patience. Okay. I need that little bit of a black square right there. So I'm just going to line that little piece up. And for that one, because it's so tiny, I'm just going to do this. Just glue it into place. Okay. And I'm missing the tiniest piece of green down there as well. So you can see it's just the tiniest little specks that I'm needing here. Just to kind of fill that in. If you had perfect shade of marker or paint, you could always do it that way. But I think this is going to be good. It's not absolutely perfect, but actually, I think I might. Here's where you're going to see me do a little back pedaling. If I can find something to do it with. I'm going to grab a little scraper here, and I'm actually going to remove that one last section, if I can. Or X-Acto knife. I was an X-Acto knife, where would I be? I'm going to take that back one more square because I do have an extra corner there. And I would just like to make that a little more perfect. I'm just going to peel that back up. Fortunately, I don't have top coat on there yet. Okay. I'm going to take that corner piece right back out. Let's try that one more time. I just want it to be perfect. Because I really, really love this. Okay, so it's going to be close to perfect, but it's still not going to be identical because this corner actually ends with the black down in the corner, and I needed the white down in the corner, but it's going to be pretty stinking close. Pretty stinking close. So let's just try that one more time and remove our backer again. Small boxes of stuff you got for nothing at the end of the year. Oh, yes. And then I find it's the end of the year, the clearance stuff too that I buy. And then it never gets put in with the other stuff because that stuff already got packed away. I find that very frustrating. Still not gonna line up perfect. It's just a smidge off. The tiniest smidge off. Let's try this one more time. Sorry, I'm concentrating. Cheryl has tubs of every season. Oh, guys, I don't know what to do about storage. Like I need to have a sale and sell off finished products because like with crafting this much, right? I have way too much. So I need to go through, pick my favorites and sell off some of them. But it's the storage of the decorations too that I want to keep. They're just, it's hard to keep them all organized when you're a crafter because like Christmas in July, I was rifling through the Christmas stuff, right? Which is typically in the back of the closet. It's a constant battle. I'm not quite sure how to fix that. I've got them all in labeled bins, but it's the rifling through to get the right ones at the right time. And then I always find that there's that one bin that seems to be missing every holiday. I almost need just an extra bedroom that you could line them all up in, right? Not possible, but it would be sweet if it was. Let's get them lined up the best I can. Okay, it's still not absolutely perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. There we go. All right. Oops. Oh, my goodness. I found that little bit of slack. Dang it. Dang it. I found that tiny bit of slack. I didn't press this down first. Yep, that made up for the slack. That was the problem. I didn't have that pressed down. So this side might not lay as nicely as I wanted it to. Shucks. I got talking and I didn't pay attention. That's okay. Then you see how I fix things. There we go. But that brought it right up into place. That was my problem. It was so close. I was like, how could this be? I thought I stretched it out and kind of measured for my rip, but there we go. That brought it right up into place. Now I am missing a tiny bit of that little blue spot up at the top that I'll touch up after, but we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give my top coat all over here. Give it a nice sheen. And then we'll go back and we'll add some dragonflies and some bees to it as well. So try and get it laid down. And if you do miss spots, you're going to get it on your second coat anyways. But try and get it laid down the best you can. Shoulder tonight. There we go. All right. I'm going to slide that out of the way, and we're going to cut out our butterfly, our dragonfly, and our bee. You're one of those ones that buys it all at 75. I know, I do that too, all the time. I've always had shoulder problems. That's why I tend to sit up higher for my Facebook videos. I can have my chair up high so that I'm not having to, like, when I put elbows on the table or working on a project, I don't have to lift my shoulder. I've always got shoulder problems. It's, I might have to find a different setup for YouTube because with the camera going this way, I can't sit up as high on my chair. And it is very hard on my shoulder. I've had that ever since my car accident back in 2011. Just one of the other, aches and pains. There's so many. But yeah, typically it doesn't bother me during a live. It's also why I don't do hair anymore. I can't do heavy lifting with that arm. But typically you wouldn't know if you were watching on Facebook videos because, like I said, I'm positioned differently. All right, so I'm going to remove. That's one. But yeah, I'll be sticking a heating pad on it after the video. And there's two. That one came off nicely. Okay, I am going to go in there and take a little more of that excess white out. There's just a little too much in some spots. There we go. I'll set him aside. And then we'll go back for this butterfly. I think this is beautiful. I wouldn't typically do a butterfly in these colors, but it is so pretty. I do wish they'd make these water brushes with a natural bristle instead of those plasticky bristles, the synthetic bristles. I think it would hold the water better. Like our paint brushes. Something a little more softer. But it is handy to have the water right there in the tube all the time. Especially for me that forgets to bring over a water container for her brushes. All right. And again, we're just going to remove the backers. I think that's just one layer. Yep. And there's the second. Sometimes they come off as one. and then you're not sure if you've got both layers or not. You have to play with it a little bit just to make sure. Isn't that pretty? It's almost like bumblebee colors, but very cute. And then we have our dragonfly. Now, of course, you could do your lantern with any napkins you want. Just even a beautiful pattern would be pretty all over this. If you love your florals, it'd be really pretty with florals, like roses or whatever. Now remember, I have that little tip of the tail that is just dangling there. So I have to be extra careful. And if it does come off, which it probably will when I remove the layers, I'm going to have to just do a little touch up to match that back up. Yeah, I'm going to lose the tip of the tail. Removing those backers. Yep, there it goes. Just as long as I don't lose it, I'll be good. I'd hate to have to use a whole nother napkin just for that little tip. All right, so do you prefer to take apart your layers before you cut them or after? Can you guys let me know? I tell you, it's going to be harder to get it off that little one. Much, much harder. There we go. Maybe not. Now can I get it off my thumb? Oh no. Nope. She ain't gonna come off my thumb. Ah, that's a bugger. That's a little stickier than Mod Podge. That's for sure. Like you can see, it does not want to come off. And that's the scrap side, so the good side's not going to come off either. I hate putting spit on. It's gross. You know, there's no saving that. In fact, it dissolved into my skin like a tattoo. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to fussy cut this and just kind of round off the tip of his tail. It was just the littlest purple dot. There we go. Oh, that's funny. And this one here, like, I'm going to have to scrub to get that off. So that's got some good hold. Okay, my frog needs a little touch up back there too, so I'm going to have to be gentle. So I'm thinking on this side, I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do the dragonfly on this side. So I'm just going to lie him down there. I'm going to put my parchment paper on. Grab my iron. And let's see if we can see any comments. You take your layers off first. Yes, sometimes it's easier. I just forget sometimes. Cheryl does it after. Yeah, it depends on the size. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I even forget until after, and then I'm like, oops, I should have removed that. But it doesn't make a huge difference except for when it's a little tiny piece like that. Oh my gosh, so cute. So cute. Oh, no, guys. See how I said I had to be gentle? Oh. He didn't stay stuck down very well. Oh, goodness, because I didn't top coat him first. Oh, let's see what we can do. You know how a frog's tongue rolls up? Well, his whole head did. I only have one more of this napkin, I think, and I really didn't want to use both of them on this project. So let's hope we can Hope we can curl that back out nicely. Because he's so cute. I was hoping this year to get down to the Mackenzie Child's place and buy some napkins, and I didn't get there. Just wasn't in the cards this year. All right. I think it's going to work. I think it's going to be fine. As long as I just didn't do that to my dragonfly too. We're good. You wouldn't even know it. Okay, so let's get these guys top coated before that happens again. So you're going to work from the center and just brush it up. And it's this coat that you really start seeing that the napkin just dissolves right in. Okay. And again, going this way. Easy artwork. That's what I think decoupage is. Taking somebody else's beautiful designs that were literally designed just to wipe a dirty face. And then putting them on your projects. Oh, we got a little something going on up there. Just need to peel some of that away. There we go. Something that was designed. Oh, it didn't work, guys. Oh, my poor little froggy. That little piece of curl just slid away. I'm not sure I can fix this. It's so delicate. Hope it wants to keep sliding. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And you know what I think of right now is that saying, never let them see you sweat. You're right. Oh, little froggy. You poor fella. Let's get you put back together a bit. It's like trying to put a piece of a sunburn back on. It's that thin. But I got it. Okay, don't touch it too much. There's a little spot that needs to be tapped down. And I'm afraid if I touch it too much. Oh, there we go. It popped back into place. There we go. Okay. Stop playing with it. Let's dry that up. I got it back on. Oh, woo! And I'll show you on the other napkin what he looked like before my boo-boo and after. It's not that bad. So I think Duraclear makes it a little more fragile than Mod Podge because I've never had all this problems. Either that or these napkins might be a little thinner. One or the other, but I've never had that happen. That really did kind of make me sweat. A little bit of a wrinkle down here on the edge. Yeah, I think it's these napkins. They're really, really thin. There we go. And they kind of want to curl up. You got to be extra careful with these, apparently. Good to know. Because I've never had this problem before. Maybe that's her way of not having artwork being used, as she's making it difficult for people. There we go. So he is back on. Looking good. That made me sweat. It's not that bad. It's a little stressful, but it's not that bad. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my other coat on here. And then I'm going to do this whole layer as well. Yeah, it's even this, I'm putting the top coat on, and even though it's sat that long, it's really wanting to pop up. So it's either the Duraclear or it's the napkin itself. I might have been better off to stick with Mod Podge, but I wanted to try something new. It's okay. We're going to get this. Maybe I'll try the wet method this time. Do I want it that way? Do I want it that way? Maybe I want it straight on. Like that. All right, so I'm going to grab a piece of plastic. I have a pile of these bags that, you know, all my stamps came in. And I thought that's what I would use these for. It's just to tap my pieces down into place before I threw them out. Let's see if that works better as opposed to ironing it. Yep. Okay, wet method works better with this. Much better. Live and learn. That went on perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, this side still needs that top coat put on before it messes up on me. And now because I want this really glossy, I'm going to leave it overnight. And then I'm going to put another coat of this same Duraclear on. But I'm going to make sure it's sat overnight, at least 4 or 5 hours, right? And then I'll probably still put a third coat on because I really want a good high gloss to this. Now I do have a bumblebee still to put on. And I thought he would be cute right up here with the frog. So I'm going to take a little more Duraclear. Sore shoulders are the worst. Sore the knees. Yeah, I think the knees would probably be worse than the shoulders. Because knees are one of those things that whether you're standing or sitting, they can be very uncomfortable. I think that would be much worse. The shoulders, at least if it's really bad, I just sit and watch TV, right? Where the knees would be worse. The back is worse, the lower back, I find, than the shoulder. Okay, I'm going to put them on that way. A light little tap into place. Make sure I take a spot that isn't sticky. I'm just going to tap it down and then lightly rub it out. Oh my gosh, this is so cute though. And then I'll put another coat right on there. Perfect. Is that not adorable? one of those things that's very whimsical. Like I like it for my personal, but it's also something that like her style would be beautiful in a nursery. Like if I would have known when I had itty bitties, I think I would have had their nurseries done in Mackenzie Child style. Okay, so we still need to do up the pumpkin front wherever I just set that. I had it tonight. There it is right there. This needs to be painted up. So I was thinking of doing all the trim of it in black, and then the pumpkin itself is going to be done in orange. Oh, can you zoom in on it? Really? That's cool. I've never watched anyone live on here, so that is very cool. I didn't know that. Just looking to see if there's any comments I'm missing. Okay, guys, get back to the glasses. I don't know if I should do my words in the black as well or just the frame. What do you guys think? Or should I leave it till the end and then we'll decide? They might be cool in gold. We'll see. So I'm just using a little flat brush just to do this. Just because as I go up and around the pumpkin and stuff, I don't want to get it all over that.
Can I stay up a little longer?
What did Dad say?
Well, he didn't say yes or no. He said it's 10 o'clock in 15 minutes.
Okay, well, I think it's up to Dad. Dad's the one that's telling you to go to bed or not. Oh, has he already gone to bed?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why I was asking you.
And what time is it?
10:05.
Okay, well, and you're going to need to go in the washroom and wash your face and all that stuff. So how about you wait just a little bit until I'm done so that I can wash my brushes before you get in there?
All right.
Why do you sound sad? I thought you wanted to stay up a little bit later.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so why do you sound sad when I'm like,
I'm not.
oh, okay.
It's just my voice.
All right, because you were like, oh, okay. Love you too. Sorry about that. Little one needs to head off to bed soon. But it takes her a while to get ready for bed. And I don't want my paintbrushes to harden. So you don't mind YouTube as opposed to Facebook? Jamie's saying she likes it because she can zoom in. I'm going to have to check that out. It's easy enough to find me. I probably should have put a notification on the Facebook page as well, but I forgot. How many of you watch other people live on YouTube? Maybe it's just something that's new to me. I know other people have done it, but I'm just wondering how many of you typically watch people live on YouTube? Or is Facebook your typical playground? So I'm just going to dry this up and then we'll go in and we will paint the orange and then we'll decide on the actual words for Hello Pumpkin. And I still don't know where I put that little stick. I don't understand how I could have lost it. I don't know. I didn't drop it on the floor. It disappeared. So that's how we're looking so far. And you said it's not backwards for you, right? Because I couldn't figure out how to flip the camera around. I don't think there is a way. So I'm hoping that it automatically does that. Because when I look at it, it's definitely backwards. All right, so I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. I think this is called a number 2 Zen. And this time I'm going to be using sparklers. So it's kind of the burnt orange. I really love burnt orange. Like even for clothes, I love burnt orange. And I'm not going to bother doing the stem in a different color because I think that's just too many colors for this piece. I'm just going to do it all in the orange and then probably go in with some, what's it called? Fresh mustard or dry mustard? Fresh mustard to do some highlights in it. But typically, yeah, this would have a green stem and green little vine on it. But I think I'm just going to do it all in the orange. If not, I can always go over it after, but we'll see how it looks. And I could sponge paint this on, might be quicker, except for those outside edges. I really don't want to mess those up. Unfortunately, I have a steady hand tonight. I have a sore shoulder, but I have a steady hand. So since we did the last live on here, we've gone up, I think, 20 new subscribers on YouTube, which is pretty impressive. Did you hear my cat? For not being over here very much, I'm quite impressed by how many followers we have over here. And I think it's going to be easier for you to look up any how-to videos, as long as I remember the ones that I do on Facebook to get them over here. I think it'll be better because we keep losing videos on Facebook. Like this afternoon, as soon as I did the basket, I made sure that I put it up on here because I don't want to lose those videos. Now, I did not get the second one uploaded yet, but at least I have the basket. I think the insert is pretty straightforward, but it's still nice to get it on here. We have all the windows in the house open because of the nice weather. And it's funny, I'm painting and I'm thinking, wow, you can really hear the crickets tonight and the frogs. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but there's a lot of crickets and frogs going on out there. Now that's a steady hand tonight. Knock on laminate. I don't always have a steady hand, so that's impressive. Okay. So what do you think so far? The words in orange or the words in gold or the words in black? I'm kind of torn. I'm also thinking if I would have had the same green as what's on the bottom in here, it would have been cool to have that vine in that green and then the words in that green. But I don't think I have anything close to that lime green in anything. I don't even think in Poscas I have a lime green like that. Let's see. I'll do it on the back of this guy. Oh no, that's definite not. And nope, that's too minty. I don't have anything that would come close to that. And I don't even think I'd have the knowledge, because I'm sure there's a way to mix that to make it perfect. But otherwise, that would have been a nice thought too. So what do you guys think? I'm going to add some gold in there while you guys decide. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. So all I'm doing is I'm just kind of brushing a little bit of the mustard shade just along the edge. Some spots might be a little heavier than others, but it's just to give it a little bit of highlight. And I'm sticking to the same side of all the pattern. Just like so. Because I think the mustard color goes really pretty with this too. Oops, I got a little piece of fluff there. And it's just the tiniest bit in most of the spots. It's kind of blending in a little bit as it dries, so I'm just going to hit it one more time. There we go. See, just a little hint of the yellow in there. I think that's pretty. Maybe a tiny bit on that stem as well. There we go. So what do we think? Orange or black? I don't know. Let me dry it up first and then we'll slide it in there and see if that helps. This is also that same gold. That hint of gold that went on the pumpkin is the same hint of gold that is my little slashes kind of in the background. I don't know what you call them, but my little strokes that are in the plaid. What do you think? The orange, or I guess the black you don't really see anyways, right? So it doesn't really matter. But the black would kind of anchor with this black up here, might anchor that wording down there. What do you think? That's what I'm kind of thinking. And it'll help it pop a little more, I think. Got a little paint in my groove there, I think. I'm going to go black. Nobody else is saying. Either that or I'm not seeing it. I think everybody went quiet. Yep. I think it's late at night. Y'all went to sleep on me. But thanks for not shutting it off. All right. Y'all stay in tune, I hope. Someone's going to win a prize after. So you better stay awake. It's probably the sound of crickets, if you guys can hear it. They're probably mellowing you right out. Yep, I think I like it in the black. There we go. And then we'll let that dry. And then I'm not sure if we can stroll or if we're just going to have to pick a name kind of thing for the prize. Let's see. Let's close all this up while that's drying. I'm also going to do a top coat of that, like 3 layers on the top as well. But just during the live, I'm going to be like holding it a lot by that. So I didn't want to do it when I'm live, right? And muck it up. And then I have a candle somewhere. I had it. My goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure where that went either now. I did have it because I took it out right before the live. Oh, it's probably on the other side where I was taking the pictures. That's probably where. Okay, let's see. I'm going to send out some napkins. I didn't even choose my napkins yet. So let's say we're going to send out 3 napkins to somebody. Hope you guys still like getting napkins as gifts. Oof. I had a mouse pad too. Here it is. All right, let's see. Can I scroll? Oh, I can scroll. Oh, good, good, good. Oh, did I miss any comments? There might have been comments. There is, like it just loaded a whole bunch of comments now. Oh my goodness, Allison, you're here. Welcome. You're getting your kneecap put back into place. See, now YouTube isn't showing comments either because I did not see all that. Dry mustard for canning. Oh, look at this. My ears weren't even burning, guys. Wow. Okay. Well, let's do a scroll. And I'm going to have to stand up and I'm just going to put my finger in one spot on the screen. And then where it stops is where it stops. So, okay. Hey, my sister even said hi. My sister doesn't usually say hi. Hi, Tina. Okay, guys. So I'm holding my finger there and I'm scrolled down and it is Wendy Stoiko. Sorry I'm late. Was watching Tracy. So I don't know what time you put that down, but so many comments I didn't see. Wendy, you won again. The odds of winning in here, I think, are pretty good because, like, there's 6 of us. There's 4 of us right now. Maybe I said Wendy won and 2 people just left. I don't know. But pass on you and give it to someone else. Are you sure? Are you sure? Wendy always wins. That's what Jamie said. All right. Well, I think, let's see. Well, let's just scroll again and we'll see. Okay, so I'll just hold my finger there again. And but it landed on Wendy again. It says that could be Cheryl. I don't think I can give it to someone else. Let's try again. Jamie. Jamie saying she is not seeing any of us. On that positive note. Jamie, you can. Oh man, did I miss comments? Tons of them, Cheryl. Tons and tons of them. So Jamie, you can say thank you to Wendy because she's passing on her 3 napkins to you. So I will get out 3 napkins and send them on to you. That's so sweet of you. All righty, guys. That's it. That's all for tonight. Something is give it a 3D look. That is why I need to learn how to highlight my paint in items to give it a 3D look. Yeah, it gives it a little more dimension, right? Oh, gold with black edging. See, you guys were saying gold. I don't know. I kind of like the black now. I could go in there and put a little. Why is it catching? There we go. There we go. I don't know. I don't think it needs more. I think that's pretty snazzy. I think it's pretty awesome. What do you guys think of it? I don't know if you guys are really Mackenzie Child fans. I think it's a beautiful style. And my plaids actually look like, you can tell they're not perfect, but they actually look pretty good in there. They're not as bad as what I thought they were going to be. Jamie says it looks great. Yeah. I didn't know you said black with gold. I wasn't seeing any of that. I had even tried scrolling once. I didn't see it. So, yeah, I was thinking, you know, this is going to be nice because Facebook messes up on messages. Well, YouTube did too. But maybe I'll have to have a second device next time and just double check so that if I'm not seeing more comments. But thank you all for hanging out and chatting with me, even when, you know, I couldn't see them. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm tuckered out. I'm still missing, though. At the beginning of the video, I was saying that the other night I forgot to put the little stick in there. And now I've lost that little stick. So it just gets glued right inside here, right kind of like set your slider in there and then put it into place and then lift your slider out of the way so that it doesn't get glued in there in case any glue seeps out. But there should be a little board that sits in there just so this thing doesn't do this. It's the same piece that, like, it's the little stick that would have come out of this slot. And I just usually glue it down there. I forgot to do it the other night. I painted it at the beginning of this video. I used it to rip a napkin and then I lost it. The thing just got up and left because I'm not seeing it anywhere. So I don't know. But if I find it, I will be gluing that into place. I really just don't know where it would have went. It's beyond me. Anyways, ta-ta for now. Thanks for hanging out. You wondered what that was for. Yeah. They in the original instructions from the person that designed this, they didn't say to do that. It was just the piece that falls out when you cut this piece. But when I first made my first one, I didn't like how when you're moving it around, it flops around. So if you just glue that into place, but make sure you pull this out in case any glue seeps out, it works perfectly. All right, guys, sweet dreams. Sweet creative dreams. I don't know if I'm on tomorrow or not, so you're just going to have to wait and see with notifications. But I will talk to you later. Bye, guys. I don't know how to end this either. Bye.